Jessica. I've been with this lady for about 6 years now. Truly, I never loved her, but she kept helping me with money, and I've been able to set up 3 businesses. Truth be told, I can't marry this lady because I don't love her. I don't have any feelings for her. I've tried many times to call it quits, but she doesn't want to give in. I made several attempts to push her away, but she keeps telling me that she loves me and doesn't want to lose me. When she does that, I sympathize with her and tolerate her. I'm frustrated. I don't know what to do to get her out of my life. Can you imagine I haven't given her access to my house for about 6 months now, but she doesn't seem perturbed about it? Jess, mim peno for Chantel, that means I don't love her. What should I do? Frustrated Collins sends in that message. Ceci, I'll come straight to you. I don't know what you feel about unrequited love, but I feel like it's one of the worst positions to be in.
Brown Collins. Wow. So, after hearing this, I'm sure there'll be so much outrage. Like, this guy is materialistic. He's a predator. He's an opportunist. But newsflash, he didn't put a gun to her head.
Okay.
He's not holding her hostage. I want to state categorically that I do not condone what he did. It was not right to take advantage of the love that she has for you. But you see, women in love, it's a different Jessica,
it's a different ball game, right?
It's a different ball game. Even if you talk to her, she won't listen. And you see, he said she helped him. I'm sure that a lot of people, upon hearing this, would directly think of, okay, she helped him to set up 3 businesses. They'll probably think that, okay, she threw in all that capital. But let's not jump into conclusion and think that, okay, she helped him necessarily means that she gave him all the money to start the business. What if he had the money, she had the connections, she made a few phone calls?
Oh, okay.
Or it was a 50-50 thing. Or he had the money, she had the skills, she did the PR, stuff like that. Okay? So let's not be quick to judge.
Okay.
Okay? Because some of us are, a lot of people who've been lambasting this guy would have actually jumped at that opportunity. That she loves me and she wants to give me the money. What
and
can
I've
I say?
told her I don't love her, but she's still doing it, right?
And I have told her. And see, the guy has restricted your access to his house for 6 months. What other sign do you need to move on? Okay, but I mean, I want to say again, that's what Collins did. It wasn't right.
Right.
It wasn't right. He took advantage of the love that she has for him, and it wasn't. I mean, it's not good. Okay. So, what I want to tell Collins is that this is a love me, love my dog situation. Don't love her and love her money. Okay. So if you are cutting ties with her, cut ties with her and cut ties with her money. Okay, because if you know, because it looks like he didn't love her right from the beginning. So why were you accepting such things from her? Because you know that she loves you, so definitely she's giving you all that assistance because she expects you to reciprocate by loving her, giving her that attention and all that. But it's not happening.
Right.
She's still not perturbed, like he said. So it looks like she's eyeballs deep in there. So he needs to sit her down and talk to her. If that still does not work, because I don't know how plain or how brutal he is at telling her that, look, this thing that we have is not working. But then, if somebody does not love you, before someone comes out to tell you that this thing that we have is not working. I don't want this anymore. You should see signs. They are there. Unless maybe you are so blind that you cannot see. But there are signs. 6 years is a very long time.
Sure.
So there should be signs that, you will see the signs that, hey, it looks like this guy is not reciprocating. Okay. But 6 years and she's still adamant. She doesn't want to move. So maybe he should talk to a mutual friend. That is, if he's being brutal and honest and open enough, transparent enough about his feelings, he should talk to someone, maybe a mutual friend, who can talk to her and explain things to her. Yeah, because this is not healthy.
Okay, Chantel, let me come to you. How would you deal with a situation like this? And indeed, what are your thoughts?
Okay, my thoughts about this situation is that I don't condone what Collins did. If you really do not like someone, if Collins didn't like this lady, he wouldn't have accepted anything from her. And it's really hard for ladies to let go, especially if you love someone. I'm speaking from experience. I've been through this and I understand where this lady is coming from. Like you've really put your heart out there to loving someone. And what this lady actually sees probably is that this guy has actually used me. Like, how can this happen? It's really hard to let go, especially if you can imagine 6 years, 6 good years of loving someone. So it's hard to really move on. And in as much as it's hard, I think the lady really needs someone who can talk sense in her and just see the reality of things. This guy has clearly shown you all everything to prove that I don't really love you. So just move on. I've been there before, so I know. In fact, I just saw myself. That was about 8 years ago. Jess, you love someone. But you can imagine, gosh, I don't want to stay for the rest of my life alone. I don't know whether I'm going to meet someone else if this guy leaves me. But the reality of things is that if someone doesn't really love you, in as much as it may really be hard, you really have to do it for yourself, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you start developing health complications, health problems, just because of someone. It's hard. The lady needs help. And you don't want to be in a situation whereby someone sees you as a desperate person, because that is what I went through. I was seen as a desperate person. I would call, I would visit this person's place until I was completely locked out, I was completely blocked. And that's when I got my reality that, you know what, Chantal, you have to move forward. And that has to come from you. It has to come from you. If you need help, it has to come from you.
I am curious to know, Chantal, because I've never been in a situation like that. What's your mental state at that point when it's so obvious that this person does not love you back? Like, why do you keep pushing? How does that work? Like, how are you working it out in your mind?
To be honest, the things that I used to do, it's as though I was not really myself. I was going through, it's at that particular point in time when I developed depression. I had to, go through counseling, because the things that you do, like 8 years down the line, when you remember the things that you're doing because of someone, you actually laugh and ask yourself, really, why was I really doing this? So at that particular point in time, you're not really by yourself. It's as in your own world. And you can imagine when you're going through depression, it's the same thing. I went through depression and I overcame it. Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know that you came out of that. Livy in studio. I mean,
oh gosh,
I know you've been itching to talk.
I've been itching to talk. Do you know what? I feel like this girl genuinely doesn't think that this guy does not love her.
She's probably blind to it, yeah.
She's definitely blind to it. How can you've never shown her genuine love from day one. How can you wake up one day and you're withdrawing and you expect her to know that you've withdrawn? You've never shown her love. Right. So she's used to you giving her a quarter of your love all these years, and all of a sudden you're withdrawing and you're like, oh, she should get it. Hello, she doesn't get it. Because you've been all this while. Okay, I am so upset that you wasted her time. I mean, okay, you didn't want to blast, now I want to blast. Like, At which point in time from day one didn't you know that it wasn't right? A whole man like you, just a very idea. Like, seriously, like, no. First and foremost, you were getting into the relationship with her based on what? Was your relationship defined? Based on what? So what? You asked her out and she said yes, and so you guys have been clocking 6 years. Like, what was your relationship? Like, what motivated you to open your mouth? And of all the girls in the world, she was the person you decided to choose to waste her time. Like, my guy, you have been wicked. You have been selfish. I feel like you, unless you convince me that the girl asked you out. But if she didn't ask you out and you had the balls to ask her out,
and then treat her like that. And now you're on a sister show with ladies asking us what to do. Like, my guy, like, seriously, boom. You have wasted her time. I'm so upset. And you know what? You were not fair to her, and you have not been fair to her all these years. You know what? Better conjure the love. Two things. Better conjure the love from somewhere and start loving her, or call her up and tell her that it's not going to work. And trust me, all the investment this girl has put into this business, because for you to come out to admit that she's invested in the business, not one, not two,
not one,
three.
not two,
Three.
but three.
Yeah.
Just a one Giamabako, 1, 2, and 3. And then you appreciate the fact that she's made you who you are. Now what? Newsflash, you've woken up, you've got money in your account, everything seems to be going okay for you, and then what? You don't love her anymore? Now her love is not good enough for you. And then you manage to actually get a house, and you haven't invited her, and you're there and you're like, what should you tell her? When you were taking her money there, you didn't know how you should ask her for her money, right? You didn't know. Now there, you've come, you're asking us. Okay.
Are you going to help him or not?
I know, right? I know.
It's help he's looking for. How does he get rid of her?
Oh, gosh. Okay. You know what? First and foremost, just to let you know that if you break up with her today, for me, karma is just a bitch, if I can say that on the show. She's gonna curse you. A woman who has been heartbroken, she will feel betrayed, she will feel upset, she will betray you, and I don't see that business moving forward. It will surprise you. There's sometimes you just joke with life, and you joke with people who come your way, and you think that things are just on surface level, and you think that you can just take advantage of people and just let go. But what goes around comes around. Maybe today you break up with her, you want to break up with her. Stop wasting her time, because this whole push and pull thing about, she should know, I hate that, by the way, just so you know, if you're watching, I hate that. If you feel that you don't like her anymore, call her, sit her down, then tell her, my babe. You don't even call her babe, because you don't even deserve to call her babe. Tell her that you are not interested. Mademoiselle, listen, I am not interested in the relationship anymore. I am sorry I took your money, but I'm not interested. You have to be brutal about it, because you haven't done her any service. You have been such a disservice to her. You have to be brutal about it. Tell her that you're not interested in the relationship anymore. If it means that whatever amount of money she invested into your business, you can get it and give it back to her as part of compensation. My guy, you need to be settling this girl. You need to be making sure that even when you're breaking up with her, you have settled her emotionally and financially, and cut links with her, and let her know that there's no point her staying around, because it's not going to work. But just know that, like they say, karma is a bitch. What goes around comes around. I don't know. I see an interesting future for you. And next time, please treat women with respect. It will surprise you to know this thing that you're doing here. You go and find a certain woman that you claim, you love her to bits. Don't cry and come on the show and say that, you love this woman, she's being mean to you, because me, I'll give it to you unless you don't mention your name. But please, go and cut the relationship now. Stop wasting her time. 6 years, matter why. Cut the relationship. I mean, what's the word? How do I say? Break the relationship. Break up with her, and do it quick, and stop this. I expect her to know she hasn't come to her house. My house. Really, my guy, please, abusive.
To be honest, I'm not buying the whole he's been trying to break up with her and she says XYZ. So they've been stuck in a relationship for 6 years. I'm sorry, that's absolute hogwash. I'll tell you why. When you really don't like someone, you don't even want their attention. You get it? So okay, you've said it's over. She's still insisting, no, we can do this, we can. What do? Go cold turkey on her. Block her on phone, Facebook, I mean, wherever. Just make sure send a strong message to her that, listen, I'm actually doing you a favor because I don't want to waste any more of your time. But you don't sit there and say, oh, I've tried to pull away. And what are you, 2 years old? Like, be a man and just face it. Exactly. If you've had enough, let her know. And I think that you've only been in this relationship for the last 6 years because of the money and support you're getting. Well, maybe I shouldn't say money because we don't know if the support was actually monetary, as Ceci said. But whatever support you're getting is why you're still there, pretending, oh, I don't like. But then under the table, you'll take the help that she's offering. What kind of man does that?
Oh.
Right? So, my guy, you don't need advice from us on how to break up. You know exactly what you need to do. You're just taking advantage of this lady. I think you've wasted 6 years of her life, and that's enough time. Yeah. Walk away with your dignity, settle her if you can, and just be with someone you really want to be with. It's unfair to treat people like that, okay? You wouldn't be happy if someone treated your sister like that, trust me. I'll read some messages here. So Nanefia says, I hear stories like this and I'm not sure what to write. Collins, you're just a wicked fellow. Karma is waiting for you at the door. Mama says, Masa, the first thing I want you to do is to restore her virginity. Then give her all the businesses you've set up, including compensation for wasting her precious time. Janet says, what this lady is doing to the guy is blackmailing him emotionally. That is why he has stayed with her for the past 6 years. She's aware the guy is not interested, yet she's pushing it and thinking her money can buy love. But no, we should stop deceiving ourselves that money can do all things. I'm surprised that you're painting the guy as the victim, though. But anyway, Charles says, this issue, karma go work. You know how to take her money, but you don't know how to love her. You better develop love towards her before it's too late. Mustafa says, this is why many men die early or are tied up at some voodoo place like that. What nonsense. You don't love her, but her money, dear, is something you go chop. Forget it. Joy says, let me ask you, did you propose to her? Even 2 months is good enough to tell her whether you love her or not. Or the money and gifts were more important than the love. 6 years is too much. You know, try. Israel says, I know most people will sound hypocritical. How is the guy ungrateful here? Do you now define love as when a person supports you, you're obliged to repay by marrying her, even if it will cost you? The guy's behavior is bad, though, but he is blind to the fact that he actually loves the lady. He just doesn't want to accept the bitter truth.
Really?
Yeah, that's an interesting way to see it. Final comment from Serena says, I don't think you should marry her because she helped you, especially if you don't love her or, even if she has feelings for you because you might regret later on. I think it's wrong for people to think because you helped someone, you're tied to them forever. You should have declined the money the moment you knew that you didn't love her, or you should have let her know where you stand prior to collecting the money. You can probably pay her back as a way of saying thank you. It will be painful on her part, but she has to let go because the last thing she wants to do is enter a marriage with a husband that does not feel the same way about her. All the best. Pray and ask God for guidance, but above all, relax. Thank you so much for watching Sister Sister on your favorite Citi TV. Now, don't forget, if you want some more exciting content, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel. We call it the Citi Tube. And don't forget to click on the bell to receive notifications for fresh updates.
Sister Sister, every Friday at 9 p.m. only on Citi TV.